Hey there, hi again. This is Mojca from Studio Rocca, and today another episode of Pottery Bites. I want to talk to you about the top 3 mistakes beginners do when throwing on the wheel. Number 1 mistake is underestimating the steps. I know all of you are eager to just get up there to pull walls because that's like the fancy part and it's where the pot really happens. But you should not underestimate how important it is to have each step from beginning to end done properly. How you can avoid having troubles pulling walls is really investing some time in understanding and practicing each step for itself. I'm talking about just attaching properly. It's already like people will want to go right in and then they'll rip it off coning. So attaching, coning, centering, opening has to be done really well and efficient, meaning you're not going to cone like 16 times, you're not going to squeeze the clay to get it up. You'll really get those steps efficient, you'll squeeze, clay will go up, you'll put down. You'll see in a real-time video I'm doing, for example, coning, just squeezing, clay goes up and I push it down. I still have enough water, I don't have to add additional water because my pull or my squeeze was efficient. So what beginners do is just do too much, which is the most common problem. Number 2, too much. Too much water, too much pressure, too many steps. All right, each step, when you really know how to do it, you should touch the clay once, max twice, and get it done. Meaning you want to center, you get in there, you do it once, maybe you do it twice when it's a small ball of clay, okay? It should suffice. When you want to get the clay up, you want to squeeze once, the clay should come up, max twice, okay? So when you've got those down, you'll have success, okay? Your clay won't be too tired by the time you're pulling walls, your walls will be stable. There we go to mistake number 3. You are shaping too early, okay? So don't get me wrong, you really have to have a plan. You want to know what you're making. So that will determine how wide your centered piece is sitting on the wheel. If you're doing something wide, your centered piece might be a little wider. If you're doing something narrow, you want to keep it a little more narrow. That's the only thing your final shape determines early on. The second thing is the thickness of the bottom. Are you doing a foot? Are you not doing a foot? Are you doing something with a straight inlay or are you doing something with a curved bowl shape? The very bottom might go from this to a little bit like this, okay? Also, not huge. That's the only 2 things you have to do shaping wise before having your more or less cylindrical shape. If you are doing something wide, you might go from a straight shape into this while pulling. Everything else is shaping, which means, in short, focus on the height. You should do that in 3 to 5 pulls. Height meaning clay going from bottom to top. When you've used up all your clay and you're sure you can get more out of it, then it's shaping time. If you've planned for a wide bowl, leave the walls a little bit thicker. If you have planned for something just slightly different, maybe putting some curves in, you can get the wall up to the more or less final thickness. So the shaping happens at the very end, and again, not too much. 1 to 2 times touching the clay, adding water so it's nice and slippy. You go in there, you pull that, you stretch that wall. Pulling is pressure from both sides. Clay has nowhere to go, it goes up. Shaping is bigger surfaces, it's stretching, it's pushing and listening, or pushing and listening, okay? So it's like shifting horizontally, it's like 80-20 with pressure, and pulling is more or less 50-50, which means you're pressuring the clay, he goes up. Shaping, you are just stretching the walls or you're choking the walls, all right? So I know this is a lot, I try to keep it really short, really compact. I hope it helps. I will do in-depth videos in the future on each of these topics. And now please enjoy and see how I actually put all those tips in practice. Also, spoiler alert, there's a little fail of my own, which brings me to a bonus tip. Focus on what you're doing. I messed up because I was focusing on, is the camera picking up what I'm actually trying to say? I wasn't there with my pot, I wasn't there with my wall, tiny bit too much pressure. Check it out. Ciao! So this is Mojca from Studio Rocca and welcome to the next episode of Pottery Bites. So today it's about 3 top mistakes beginners make while throwing on the wheel. So you might know or not, I teach at Studio Rocca for 4 years now. I have taught thousands of students and all beginners. So I really gathered my knowledge, and as everyone makes their own mistakes and they're all different, there are some things that all beginners do. Check it out. that's it for today's episode. I hope it was helpful to some degree. If you're enjoying the videos, please feel free to subscribe or leave a comment if you want some specific content on diving deeper in one of the things I was talking about or something completely new. It helps me as I'm kind of developing the new content. There's just so much you could talk about in pottery. It's really sometimes hard to narrow down the topics, but it's for you. So let me know how I can be of any help. All right, thanks for sticking around and enjoy your next pottery session. Bye.